Today we're going to be looking at mixtures and solutions and what's the difference between them. So a mixture is when two parts can be put into something and then you can take it out. A solution is where it dissolves and you have to use either heat or another way to get that substance out of the water. So let's take a look at this. Come a little closer. All right, so we have sugar, salt, cocoa powder, and then two different types of cereal here. So let's first look at what a mixture is. We need a bowl. So here's one type of cereal. Here's another type of cereal. Okay, and I'm gonna mix it up and see how we can see the different, we have the round pieces and then we have the square pieces. I can easily pick out the square pieces and put them back in their container. And then I can easily pick out the round pieces and put them back in their container. That's what a mixture is. We're able to pick out the different pieces or the two components that we put in to begin with, okay? So now, that was a solid mixed with a solid. So what happens if I put a solid into water? Will it be a mixture or a solution? Okay, so we can clearly see the two different parts. Can I pick them out and put them back in this container? I can. So this means that it's a mixture. See? Now, we're going to try to put a solid in here that's not so easy to get out. Salt is little tiny crystals. See? They're little tiny things, but they are a solid. So, I'm going to take my first glass and we're going to add the salt. Okay. It all sank to the bottom. But can I get that salt out now? I probably could, but by the time I got ready to get it out, it would have dissolved, which means that it would become one whole solution instead of a mixture. Let's see what happens when we add sugar to water. What do you think is going to happen? Is it going to be like the cereal in the water, or is it going to be more like the salt? It is tiny little pieces that are solids. Let's see. Oh. It acted just like the salt did. Can you tell the difference between each one? Not really. They're both a little cloudy. They both sank to the bottom. And by the time we got ready to either sift this out or tried to get all of the amount back, it would already be a solution. So that's how you know the difference. What about this? What about cocoa powder? It doesn't look super solid, but it is. It's just really fine. Do you think it'll have the same components as these other two? Let's see. Well, it definitely floated, and I can get a little bit out, but when I go down there to get more, it's already dissolved. So I'm not able to get the exact same amount out that I put in, and it's because it's getting ready to become a solution. Now, looking at what we know and what we found, let's see. What happens if there's going to be more powder than liquid? Well, you can see on the top right here, where I haven't mixed it in, if I just put a little drop of water, it kind of balls up. So there's that. And then how do you think we would be able to get the salt and the sugar out of the water? If you heat up water that has salt in it, the water will evaporate, being part of the water cycle, and it'll leave behind salt. So we'll be able to get the same amount of salt back, but we would need some heat. That's kind of like when you go to the beach and there's a lot of salty water, you can sometimes see salt left on the sand from the heat from the sun. The sugar is kind of the same thing, but it doesn't come back quite as easy like the salt does. Okay. And the reason why we thought that these would become a solution versus this is because they were really fine particles, and then they'll bond with the water, but we'll learn that on another day. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope you learned something about mixtures and solutions.